Welcome to this wood carving knife overview video. Today we are going to take a look at these knives from Deepwoods Ventures. So let's start by taking a look at the blades. We'll start with this one here. This is a 1.5 inch slim scalpel carver, and it's got that very traditional kind of shape that you would expect to see on a wood carving knife. Flat cutting edge, spine that comes down to a nice point for detail. There's a great little choil here to help for sharpening and keeping the blade handle away from what you're carving. The other thing that you'll notice here, if you see the shape of the blade here, is that these are actually hand forged from stock steel, and there's some cool videos and stuff on their website you should check out if you're interested in that kind of thing. But they come extremely sharp right out of the packaging, polished to a near mirror finish. Sometimes you can see a few tool marks on them, but they're going to come nice and polished. And what you will notice about the Deepwoods Ventures knives is the blades tend to be a little bit on the thicker side. Some people might not prefer that, but there's lots of applications where it's actually really helpful. These are very, very strong little blades. They hold their edge very well. When I'm carving harder wood or wood that I know I'm getting a little bit more resistance from, these are the ones I grab for, because I know they're going to hold up to it, and I know they're going to carve well with that. That doesn't mean that they're not good at details. You can see that comes to a great point there at the edge for details as well. So that's a 1.5 inch slim scalpel carver. I'll show you a couple others here. This is a 1.25. It's called the Draper Detail knife, and actually I love this blade shape. It's got this cutoff point, which gives you that nice little triangle edge that, get you back in focus there, that triangle edge at the tip that is just fantastic for details. I love that little tip for carving out chips or details. Similar probably thickness that you can see on the other ones. And similar fit and finish as well. So that's the Draper Detail, and each of those comes in different blade lengths and sizes. I've got a couple others here. This is a general rough out knife. This is a 1 3/4 inch. It looks very similar in profile to that slim scalpel carver, but it's a 1 3/4 inch blade. This is an absolute beast of a knife, and you can do some serious roughing on this. A lot of my knives I wouldn't use on found wood, fallen wood, and things like that. I'll use these on those because they really will hold up and take large chunks of wood out without having to worry about damaging those blades. This one is another general rough out, I think 1 3/4 inch, also with an upsweep. And actually, I love these upsweep blades from Deepwoods Ventures. I don't use a lot of upsweeps, but actually the only upsweeps I own are from Deepwoods Ventures, and they work really well for general roughing on places where I really want to add detailed facets that are kind of convex, and actually reaching across long flat surfaces to add facets. I really like those. On the end here, these are actually a little bit of variations. I was lucky enough to get these off of the one-of-a-kind section on the Deepwoods Ventures website about a year ago, and the one on the left you can see is very similar to the Draper Detail kind of style, but man, that one is actually extremely thin. I absolutely love this knife. It's strong, it's thin, excellent for details, and will do some light roughing. And then this is I think it's a 1 3/4 inch upsweep as well, but you can see the blade isn't quite as wide. I've loved this for finishing work and getting the facets that I want just right on the outsides of some of my carvings. So those are two kind of special ones that I am lucky enough to have been able to nab, and I'm happy to have. So next, let's take a look at the handles on these. I've got a couple different handle styles here. They've all got that signature Deepwoods Venture deer hoof print in the back. And you've got a few different options when you order from them. You can get the kind of natural wood, and that's what this one is. It's not bad. It actually looks really nice, and it feels good. It's smooth. It's got a beautiful grain to it. There's absolutely nothing wrong with those blades. They look great. But of course, the really eye-catching ones are these figured wood, they're called, or you can get a figured maple. And I don't know exactly what kind of wood some of these are, but just that burl, and you look at it and you're like, oh, that might feel rough. It's sanded down nice and smooth. There's a good finish on here. They're not slippery. They're not rough. They feel really good in the hand, and some of these are just absolutely stunning, absolutely beautiful. I don't know. They will work the same with this handle that looks nice, but it's hard to resist the lure of paying a little bit more to get one of these beautiful handles. But you don't have to. You can get these natural wood handles, and that helps keep the price of the knife down quite a bit. I love the shape on these. They get wider towards the bottom. That's something that I definitely prefer. You may have different preferences, and that's fine. Some of them tend to be a little bit more narrow than maybe some of the other knives that you have, and that's one of those things where you look at it like this, and you can get that view. If you look at it like that, they're just a little bit more narrow, and that may be a benefit or a challenge for you depending on your preferences. But that's just a little bit more than a half an inch thick, less, so maybe 5/8 thick. There's a little bit of variation on that, but I find them to be pretty comfortable. These two have a slightly different shape. Again, I ordered these off of the one of a kind section on their site, where sometimes there's different one-offs. I don't think that's a standard handle shape, but actually I love these handles. They fit really well in my hand and get wider towards the bottom as I like them, and definitely beautiful. So let's talk about extras with these knives. They don't come with a sheath, but they have sheaths that you can purchase. Now you can purchase some more expensive leather sheaths from them that go on their Sloyd knives. They do, by the way, have a lot of different blade shapes that I'm not showing you because I don't have them. They've got a lot of great looking Sloyd knives, and a few other different styles of upsweeps and things like that I just don't have yet. But on their website you can order these sheaths. I like the option of having a cheap sheath. These are only $6 or $7, I think, and they'll slide right in there. Stay pretty well. They're a good width to grab onto the wide part of the blade down there. Keep your blade protected. So if you're ordering them, you might consider adding one of those on. I always like to have a sheath to go with my knife when I get it, so I've got a way to keep it protected. The other extra thing that I would talk about is what I mentioned on these is check out their one of a kind section. It's not super frequent, but there's been some cool things that I've found on there, and these two knives I'm really excited to have been able to nab off of there. So last we'll take a look at a demo with some of these, and let me start with this 1 3/4 inch upsweep. This is a thick, heavy blade, and it's so sharp. I mean, it will just take large chunks out for you. I'm not a huge upsweep user, but when I use an upsweep, it's a from Deepwoods Ventures. Works really well, leaves great clean facets. I love doing those little rolling cuts to leave nice facets on the outside with the upsweeps. I'll show you. This is the 1 1/4 inch Draper detailer. It's 1 1/4, but it's strong enough to do these cross cuts really well, and You can see how smooth, shiny surface that is, and narrow enough to be able to do some good detail work. These are strong blades. They're not super flexible. So if you're looking for a really flexible blade, that may not be what you're looking for. I do like a strong, firm blade often, and these work really well for that. So yeah, take a look at Deepwoods Ventures, and there's a lot of different blade shapes and options that you can try from. I definitely feel like these are great knives and maybe a good fit for you.